Good afternoon and welcome to today's episode of Light Lunch. We're joined by two guys from Procore. I will let them introduce themselves, starting with you, Angus.
Hi, I'm Angus Sutherland. I'm an account executive at Procore. What that means is I look after all New Zealand head contractors and subcontractors, pretty much everywhere outside of Auckland. So the North and South Island there. And then Anthony looks after Auckland, so I'll hand over to him.
G'day everyone. My name's Anthony. I guess I'm also Angus's counterpart. So between the two of us, we look after New Zealand clients for Procore.
Wonderful. And Anthony is going to give us a little 30-second, what is Procore?
Yeah, so I might just start by quickly showing my screen. So in essence, I suppose Procore is a construction project management platform. So essentially what that means is rather than having a bunch of disparate solutions that sort of don't really tie in together, which is all too often what happens, what Procore aims to do is actually combine that into the one. So that basically means the ability for you to combine your pre-construction through to your on-site delivery, project execution related matters, syncing with your financials and with your resource management as well. So that what that means is obviously different things to different contractors. We service a large number of different clients, and the product mix that they take on really varies, depends on what their needs are. But in essence, what we're aiming to doing is connecting all stakeholders involved in construction on a digital platform. That also includes integrated solutions, and the crux of it really is because we're built specifically for construction. There's a lot involved in that, such as starting right down from the guys on site, making sure you have functionality that is suited to them, and then filtering up so your decision makers have clear picture as to what's happening no matter where they are. In a nutshell, that's basically what Procore is.
That was a very good explanation because I was still a little bit unsure and now I know exactly what you do. Right, we're going to jump into some things that are keeping you awake at night. Anthony, do you want to kick us off?
So I would say probably that one of the first things is technology strategy. So I think a lot of contractors could put a bit more thought into really thinking about what their technology strategy is over the next, say, 5 or 10 years or longer. I think all too often and Angus and I run through evaluations on a regular basis, but generally come to the same conclusion that we're probably using too many systems, in turn creating pockets of information that doesn't sort of share through. Yeah. So the problems are quite consistent, but I think normally when we ask clients sort of what is their technology strategy and how does that tie in with your business strategy, often at times there's not really a clear thought that's been put, not always clear thought that's been put into that. I would say a true technology partner, it really should be integral to your operations, and it should offer long-term return on investment to your business as it becomes part of your day-to-day operations, not really just something that you'd kind of just touch once in a blue moon.
So I'm guessing Procore would do that for a lot of construction companies?
Yeah, most definitely, yeah. That's a bit of a shameless plug, to be honest.
Keep that in mind. And Angus, what is keeping you awake at night?
Yeah, great question, Chloe. I was just having a think about this then, but I believe that this is probably keeping a lot of people up at night at the moment. But just rising interest rates. I know this is at a macro level, something everyone's talking about, both in New Zealand, around the globe. How's this going to affect us in the future? Not only for building houses, also for your younger generation trying to get into the property market. So it really is a harsh reality. And I really do think, builders really need to understand their bottom line. And I feel like that's really where our financials can really help that piece there as well.
Yeah, nice. Definitely a huge thing keeping me awake at night as well. And Anthony, what about you? What else is keeping you up?
I'd say perhaps the second point I'd make is around data ownership. So a lot of the times, I think there's a bit of an underutilization in terms of the data that you capture. So contractors, and this happens a lot, are either sort of giving up their control of the capture of their data to other bodies, whether it be head contractors using own accounts or possibly subcontractors using head contractors, thinking there's no real necessity to capture your own data. But I think there's definitely a lot of benefit in doing so. Construction is admittedly probably one of the lesser digitalized of the major industries, perhaps, but definitely the opportunity for making use of your data to make these decisions has been around here for quite some time. Owning your own data and the intellectual property that you sort of build over so many, hard-fought projects is definitely one of the most critical business decisions that you can make. Case in point, and this is by no means printed into Procore just yet, but recently this year we announced partnership with Microsoft in a product called Procore Copilot, which is basically, if you think of ChatGPT style chatbot functions, it's incorporating that into the tool. And I know that's pretty much pie in the sky type stuff at present, but the idea is to take that data that you're capturing and make it much more readily available to you, so that you can sort of ask it questions, have it predict things. If you make a change there, it can sort of anticipate any issues. That's the idea.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very interesting. All right. Angus.
Yeah, another one is just builders not using the technology that's actually available to them in the industry today. So Anthony and I, obviously we work with up to 5 new companies a day in terms of first touch meetings, I guess. But yeah, just some of the stuff we hear, like people spending hours double handling information, manually entering a lot of things into Excel spreadsheets where, if a PM accidentally adds an extra 0 there, it kind of blows the whole budget out. Yeah, some of the working off old drawings that could potentially lead to rework. So it is a lot of work, and I feel like we could definitely help with that as well.
Absolutely. Sorry, off the cuff, how many people in New Zealand are using Procore?
Yeah, I believe it's kind of growing day by the day, Anthony, but the last time we kind of did a calculation, it was probably about 350 customers, and that's across development, head contract, subcontractor space, so across all verticals too, so commercial,
cool.
residential, civil.
No, that's quite decent.
Yeah,
we have clients ranging from doing a few homes a year through to tier 1 builders and governmental agencies as well. So it varies massively. I think the core to that is, if you think of it as this tool is designed for construction, and what you then do with that is that's probably the main part of it. I mean, the app is designed for the guys on site first and foremost. What you can then do with that is pretty much open to your interpretation, and there's a massive spectrum in terms of offerings. But at the end of the day, it's about, I think, tailoring a solution for whatever the client is. Even things like maybe matching the way you like to claim, the way you like to track your budgets and what have you. That's going to vary massively between clients.
Yeah.
But that's a core part of what we do.
Oh, awesome. Sorry, that was a side note. Anthony, is there something else keeping you awake at night?
As a matter of fact, that kind of leads into what I was going to say around the change management process. So I think when clients make a decision on which vendor to pick, and when they make a decision on sort of what software they want to roll out with, it's a critical part to making sure that we can tightly maintain and manage that change management process. As a vendor, we take our responsibility really seriously to help you build out basically a strategy that you can plan over however long you can envision. Adoption needs to be tightly managed to make sure that we can sort of help you roll it out to the greater team, coordinate our own internal assets to support you guys whenever you need. The better we can do that, the better we can demonstrate a faster and clearer return on your investment. And to the point about the different clients that we have, that's critical, because Procore is a tool ultimately, and then the configuration aspects, how we tweak that to suit your requirements, is how we might support a really large scale construction company doing hundreds of millions of dollars a year, or even more in turnover, or even clients that do 2 or 3 homes a year. It's all about how we configure the tool to suit your needs, and there's a big spectrum of that.
Yeah, wow. Anthony, do you ever sleep?
Do I ever say,
it doesn't
judging
sound
by
like
those
it.
3, no, not really.
And Angus, what else have you got for us?
Yeah, I'll probably keep this one a little bit lighter touch there, but yeah, probably. So Anthony and I spend a lot of time in New Zealand. I'd say we're over there once a month. And yeah, we were laughing just flight delays have been the killer lately. I know that Anthony and I recently got stuck in Auckland Airport for 9 hours, so that definitely keeps me up at night. I'm heading over to Christchurch next Tuesday, so hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Fingers crossed for you. That is terrible. Anyway, let's go through some quick fire questions. Anthony, what is something you're reading, listening, or watching at the moment?
Yeah, so there's a show called Alone on Netflix. I don't know if you know what that is. It's basically where a group of people go out to the wilderness and they just see how long they can survive. I feel like that would work reasonably well in NZ if it weren't for the fact that you could throw a line in and catch a 2 kilo snapper pretty easily. So maybe more so in Australia where we catch tiny little fish in comparison.
Yeah, there's also
Got to throw it back.
way scarier things to be watching out for in Australia, right? Snakes.
Pardon? Oh, there's tons of things. Yeah, pretty much everything's out to get you in one way or another.
What's something you've been reading, listening, or watching, Angus?
So I'm quite a big surfer, so I've been reading Owen Wright's book Against the Water. It's basically he was pretty much going for a world title, had a really bad brain injury, couldn't walk, had to kind of learn to walk and swim again. And yeah, it's amazing to see that come back to basically got almost back to winning a world title. So
wow.
Yeah, I've been watching reading that, and then also been watching the David Beckham show on Netflix.
Oh, everyone's been talking about that. I went to go watch it on the weekend and then it didn't happen, but I'm definitely going to get into that because everyone said it's great.
It's really good, yeah.
Yeah, it's on my list. What is something you do for your well-being, Anthony?
Yeah, so to your point about me not sleeping all that much, I probably don't manage that as well as I perhaps should. I definitely drink too much coffee. I sometimes burn out. It happens all the time, but it's just the nature of the job, I guess. But I think a lot of the times a reset is good, and something so mundane as maybe just cleaning your workspace, cleaning your home, tidying things up, and then it just gets you in a different mindset and you're ready to start again. It's something that you don't have to think too much about. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just talking about this with my friends the other day. I feel like I don't have time to clean up the house, but if I don't do it, I don't have time for anything else.
That's it.
What about you, Angus?
Yeah, I think for me, just getting in the water. Love going for swims and surfing. Yeah.
You live close to the beach in Sydney?
Yeah, so I live just near Manly Beach, kind of in between that and a beach called Freshwater. So yeah, I just love getting in the water and hopefully get in the water more when I get over to New Zealand. It's been a bit cold.
Nice.
Been a bit cold, but coming into summer, I might get into it.
Might warm up.
Yeah.
Just slightly.
Hopefully.
And what is your motto, Anthony?
I would say definitely reputation's everything. Like you can do everything right, and the moment you make one stuff up, the moment you don't do the right thing, you become known for that. So for me, definitely reputation is more important than pretty much anything in my view.
Yeah, nice. That's a good one. And Angus, what about you?
Mine's pretty simple. Just stay humble and be kind is my motto.
Did you get that off our Prime Minister?
No. Is that their motto?
Yeah, be kind was the whole comment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I didn't, but it's good to know.
And do you have any advice for the next generation, Anthony?
Yeah, so I'd say for anyone joining the industry now, you're entering a time where the construction industry is at a really, really interesting time. Technology is really starting to become centric to future success. I think it's important to embrace that, find new and better ways to do things, strive to change the world, but at the same time, obviously, you got to respect traditional methods and those that have come before you. They've forged a pretty hard-fought road to get to where we are. It's definitely respecting traditions is critical as well.
Totally. Really good one. And Angus, a piece of advice for the next generation.
Yeah, kind of piggybacking on Anth there. I just embrace the change and just be really curious. Even if you've done things your own way, just have a look at what else is out there. It doesn't hurt to have a look at a system or some new technology. Yeah, even in the last 5 years that I've been in this industry, the change has been astronomical. It's literally going like every day. So I feel like, yeah, moving towards the future, it's really using those data-driven insights to be able to make informed business decisions going forward. So yeah, basically don't fall behind the 8 ball. Understand technology, and then just have a look what's out there. It's my advice.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. And we'll see you all next time. Bye.
Thanks, Chloe. Cheers. Thanks, everyone.